Mary is a 35-year-old social worker who sees a psychiatrist to deal with her chronic pain. She started to have gaps in her memory, and the psychiatrist diagnosed her with dissociative disorder. However, a different personality named Marion came through, and later on 6 other personalities appeared as well. All of them are aggressive and are competing for control. Marion would frighten the others, even one who identified herself as a 6-year-old girl. Some of the others were very hostile and even made suicide threats. To be diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, the DSM requires the presence of 2 or more identities or personalities. Mary exhibits this because of Marion and the other 6 identities. 2 of them have to take control, which all of them at one point or another are in control. And the last symptom is the inability to recall important personal information, which goes beyond just regular forgetfulness. Mary shows this because she will come home one night with a full tank of gas in her car, and the next morning be at half a tank and doesn't remember taking her car anywhere. Through further questioning, it also shows that she has gaps in her memory for a large part of her childhood. Dissociative identity disorder is the presence of 2 or more distinct identities or personality states. There is an inability to recall important information which goes beyond the stage of just forgetting. The first diagnosis of this disorder goes back to Gemlin in 1971. He was credited as the first to report a case of DID. This involved a 20-year-old French woman who spoke perfect French, behaved like a French aristocrat, and spoke German with a French accent. This took place the year the French Revolution began, which is significant since during this time many French aristocrats left France and fled to Germany. When she was the French woman, she remembered everything she did, but as the German woman, she denied any knowledge of the French woman. However, there are early reports that date back all the way to 1646, and this involved a woman with amnesia who talked about an alter personality who stole her money. A person diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder may show some of these characteristics. They include self-harm. They may gamble, spend money irresponsibly, binge eat, abuse alcohol or drugs, have unsafe sex, or drive recklessly. They have a pattern of unstable and intense relationships. They avoid real or imagined abandonment. Their self-image can change by shifting goals, values, career, sexual identity, and types of friends they have. They can go from being very needy to a very righteous person who is out for revenge for being mistreated earlier in life, such as childhood. People who are more susceptible to DID are the people that experience severe trauma during adolescence, whether it being emotional, physical, or sexual abuse. DID is diagnosed 3 to 9 more times in adult females than adult males. In childhood, female-to-male ratios is more, and females have more identities, which include 15 or more, than males, which average about 8. A famous person living with this disorder is Herschel Walker. He was one of the most powerful running backs in college and NFL history. With his combination of strength and speed, he was one of the greatest in the game. Shortly after he retired, he was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. Herschel lost his ability to distinguish his role in football from his role at home, and his wife became the target of his anger. In an interview, he talks about how he was out of the game and how he had been for 4 years. He talked about the anger problem he was developing and how it was worse and worse and destroyed his relationship with his wife, Cindy. He mentioned the time when he put a gun to her head. Even though he didn't pull the trigger, and with everything he did, she knew it wasn't him. And after getting the help he needed, he wrote a book about living with this disorder called Breaking Free: My Life with Dissociative Identity Disorder. Here is a picture of Herschel Walker on the cover of his own book. Some books and movies with characters that have dissociative identity disorder include Me, Myself, and Irene, The Hulk, Shutter Island, Identity, Secret Window, Sybil, Lord of the Rings, Fight Club, and Psycho.
I'm working for the state on the highway patrol. From the Farrelly brothers, the directors of There's Something About Mary, comes the story of Charlie Bailey Gates. All his life,
Sweetie,
he's been a pushover.
it's kind of dangerous. You want to move it up onto the sidewalk, away from the traffic?
A patsy.
I hate to bother you with this, but your car is going to have to be moved.
Park it up behind the grocery store, will you, Charlie?
A doormat.
Do you people take checks?
You mean the black man?
No. Those things are illegal. God!
Oh, it's on now.
But inside every guy like Charlie, there's a guy like Hank.
Doctors have diagnosed you as having a split personality.
A schizo.
You've been avoiding confrontation. But this guy inside,
Hank?
he doesn't.
There you go, Dick. I pumped it for you.
This summer,
Her name's Waters, Irene P. I pulled her over for a broken taillight.
We'll have one of our troopers escort you.
20th Century Fox presents
Boy, you can't beat the open road!
the story of two guys
So it's true. Charlie is a schizo.
trapped in one body
What the hell are you still doing here? You can't get rid of me, Hank. Hank! You're only hurting yourself!
in love with the same girl.
I never wanted to sleep with you, Hank. You tricked me.
Come on, don't be mad.
Now, I warned you about that, buddy.
Warned me about what?
Charlie?
Jim Carrey,
Look, I'm not here to twist your niblets.
What?
Sound good, candy bands?
me, myself, and Irene.
I mean, you should be furious. I just drop-kicked you right in the face.
Hey, it happens.
Although there is no known cure, therapy or psychotherapy, medications, hypnotherapy, or movement therapy like dance therapy are treatments for dissociative identity disorder. Dissociative identity disorder, known previously as multiple personality disorder, is to some people not a real disorder. DID is one of the most misunderstood and controversial diagnoses in the current Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders, but it is in fact a real disorder that makes it difficult for a person to function. According to Bethany Brand, PhD, a professor of psychology at Towson University and an expert in treating and researching dissociative disorders, says that there are several reasons. One reason is DID is associated with early severe trauma such as abuse and neglect. This raises the concern over fake or false memories. Some people worry that clients may remember abuse that didn't actually happen and innocent people may get blamed for abuse. Most people with DID don't forget all their abuse or trauma. Sufferers may forget episodes or aspects of some of their trauma, but it's fairly rare not to remember any trauma at all and suddenly recover memories of chronic childhood abuse.